Hello everyone, I am Sunil Kumar and in this video we are going to talk about binary search. What is binary search? We'll understand and we will also see what is the problem in linear search. That is the reason we are going for binary search. Let us discuss the first problem in linear search. Let us assume I am having one array. Let's say this is one array. Name of the array is A, and in this array let's say I'm storing some random values because this array is unsorted array, and number of elements are let's say 1 0 2 4 total elements are available in this array. So let me give the indexing also. This is index number 1, this is index number 2, this is index number 3 4 5, let's say. So 1 0 2 4 total number of elements are available in this 1024. So let us store some random values. Let's say I'm storing 28, then 7, let's say this is 71, this is let's say 19, let's say this is 250, let us assume this is 91. So I have stored some random values. So see, I want to apply linear search and I want to search one value in this unsorted array. So what is the procedure? What linear search says? So you can start comparing with the first elements. If it is your search value, then you don't need to compare with the remaining elements. Otherwise you can compare with the second elements, then third elements, then fourth, until you get your value you can compare. So let's say what could be the best possibility in this case. If let's suppose best case. So this is what the best case. Now let us understand one scenario. So see, let's suppose I'm searching for 28 and I don't know this 28 is available in this array or not. So what is linear search? I will start comparing with the first elements. If it is my element, then I don't need to compare. Then I will compare with the second elements. If it is my element, then I will stop. Otherwise I will compare. So like this. So let us start. So I am searching for 28. Now I will compare with the first elements. Is it my element? Yes, this is my element which is I am searching in this array. So what is the meaning? Means in the first comparison, luckily I got my search value. So what is how many number of comparisons I have done in this case? Only one comparisons. That one comparison is called as constant comparisons. So what could be the best case time complexity in case of linear search? So it is going to be best case we always represent with big omega. So big omega of 1 represents constant, means number of comparisons. We have done only one comparisons, so that is the reason, or big omega of 1. Now let us understand what could be the worst case time complexity for this linear search. Worst case. So let us understand another scenario. Let's say this time I am searching for, let's say, 91. I am searching for 91 this time. So I will start comparing with the first elements. If it is not my element, then I'll compare with the second elements. If it is not my element, then I'll compare. So in order to search 91 in this array, I have to make how many comparisons? Total 1024 comparisons. Let's suppose the size of this array is n. Then what could be the worst case time complexity? In this case it is 1024. Let's suppose if array size is 1 lakh, then if any element is present at the last position and I am searching for that elements, in that case I have to make how many comparisons? 1 lakh comparisons. So it will depends on the size of the array. So in this case, worst case, what is the time complexity? Worst case always represented with the big O notation. So this is big O and number of elements available in the array. So this is order of n time. So this is what the problem in linear search. We have to make how many comparisons? In worst case, we have to make the comparisons based on the size of the array. Let's suppose in this array 1 crore element is there. Then how many comparisons I have to make? I have to make 1 crore comparisons in this case. So that is what the problem in worst case means. I have to compare with every element, then I will be able to find the my search value. So what could be the average case time complexity? We can calculate average case time complexity like so let's suppose we are checking all the possibilities. Let's suppose I'm searching for n elements. If I get that element in the first comparisons, maybe I'll get that element in first comparisons, maybe in second comparisons, maybe in third comparisons, maybe in fourth comparisons, like this. So I'm just making the sum for all the possibilities. I'm just making the sum for all the possibilities, and because I'm calculating the average, so a number size of the array is n in this case. So I'll divide with the n. Means what I'm doing, I'm just making, so this is nothing but one is what, one is the let's suppose array element is available at the first position. In that case, how many comparisons I have to make? Only one comparison. Let's suppose array element is available at the second position, I have to make two comparisons. So I'm adding all the possibilities and divide by n, size of the array. So simply let's suppose 33 kilometer per hour is the speed, let us assume. Then let's say this is 17 kilometer per hour, this is the second speed. How to calculate the average? You will you will add 33 plus 17, then number of how many number of elements are there, or how many values are there? 2. So simply divide by 2. So this is what I'm doing here. So if you observe this, so this is the series. So n into n plus 1 divide by 2, and n is already available, so this n will be cancelled. So now what is the worst case time complexity? Average case time complexity is nothing but average case time complexity is n plus 1 divided by 2. This is actually average case time complexity, but you can roughly write theta of n. So this is what the average case time complexity in case of linear search. Now, but our problem is worst case time complexity. So now what we want to reduce the number of comparisons. That is the reason we are going for binary search. So we want to try whether we can reduce these number of comparisons or not. If it is possible, then no, it is good for like we don't need to make those number of comparisons. So let us discuss what is binary search and how it works. So in binary search, primary condition is, so array should be what? Array has to be sorted array. So this is what the primary condition, sorted array. Sorted array. Now let us assume I'm having one array. Let's suppose I am having this array, name of the array is, let's say A. Now so indexing, again I'm going to give the indexing number 1, so indexing number 2, 3, like this. So this is, let's say 1024 total elements are available in this 1024 total elements are available in this array. Now see, let me give some another index number also. Let's suppose this is 512 something. Okay, so let us store some values in this array also. Let's suppose this is 8, so it could be more than 8 only, because the array has to be sorted. Array has to be sorted array. Then it is if you have taken 8, then it could be 10. If I have taken 10, so it could be greater than 10. So let's suppose it is 12. Now next is let's say 49. So next value is going to be greater than 49. So let us assume this is 800 something. So last value I have taken, let's say if it is let's say 1501, so it has to be greater than this. So let's suppose 1512. So this is what my sorted array. I have taken some random values in sorted array. So see what binary search says. Binary search says, first you calculate the mid. Then you compare your search value with the middle elements. So let me explain how to calculate the first mid. So mid is going to be calculated. So first index value, let us assume this is the index number I, and this is the last index j. So I is pointing to the first index and j is pointing to the last index. So let us how to calculate mid. First index value plus last index value divided by 2. Then you can take floor value. So this is how we are going to calculate. So let's say now I is what? I is, let's say this is what, 1, and j is nothing but 1024 in this case. If you divide by 2 and if you take floor, so it is going to be 1025 divided by 2, so it is going to be 512. So now mid is what? Mid is 512. Let us assume one scenario. So see, let's say you are searching for one element which is 800. You are searching for 800 in this array. Now what this binary search says, you first calculate the mid. Okay, so mid is, now our mid is 512 index value. So now you can compare that value with your search value. So we are comparing 800. Now this is our value. So this is what the best case possibility. So now for binary search, Binary search best case possibility is, best case is represented by big omega of, so it is big, we are only making one comparison, so it will take big omega of 1. Now what could be the worst case scenario? Let us say worst case is, let me explain. So let's suppose I am searching for 8. I'm going to explain a worst case scenario. Let's suppose x equal to 8 I am searching. So first what you will do, so first you are going to calculate mid is now 512. So what is the procedure in binary search? We are going to compare this element with the middle elements. So now we are saying 800, is it 800? No, this is not 800. So now we should stop the procedure because we are trying to search 8, but this is not 800. Then this particular value will tell you don't stop, don't stop your searching. You are looking, it will say, this mid value will say you are looking, greater than or smaller than. Then you are saying I'm looking for the smaller than. Then it will say to you, if you are looking a smaller value, then maybe it could be available on the left hand side. If you are searching for the greater value, then it could be available on the right hand side. Then after making that comparison, you came to know you are looking for the smaller value than 800. Then what you have done, see, after making one comparisons, you have decided your value could be available only this side, it cannot be available this side. Means what? You have eliminated how many elements? After making one comparison, if you are understanding, after making one comparison, you have eliminated how many elements? Exactly 512 elements in one comparisons. So now your problem has become of 512 elements only. So this is index number 1 I1, and now your index number is going to be 511. So this is now last index, because you are not concerned with these elements now, because 8 cannot be available right hand side. This 8 cannot be available on right hand side. So now you are going to search on the left hand side. So again what you will do, again you are going to calculate the mid. So let's suppose your mid is this time 256. Then again you will ask this mid value. Now you are looking for lesser than this value or greater than this value. So again you are going to say I am looking for the lesser. So this time again you need to, you have eliminated how many elements? Again you have eliminated approximately 256 comparisons. 256 comparisons or 256 elements. You don't need to, you're not concerned with 256 elements because your value cannot be available on right hand side. Okay, so see, this is the procedure we will follow. So let us assume that scenario also. So let me explain. Let's suppose you are having 1024 total elements. How many elements? Total 1024 elements. After making one comparisons, now you are going to be, you will have only 512 elements in your array. You will have only 512 elements. Now again you will compare. Then after again because you are dividing 512 into two parts, so after one comparison again you are going to have only 256 elements in your list. So again you are going to make comparisons. So you are going to have only 120 elements, because again you are going to eliminate 120 elements. Then maybe if you are comparing again, so maybe you are going to eliminate 64 elements again. So in next comparison you are going to again eliminate 32 elements, next 16 elements, then you are having only 8 elements, then you are having only 4 elements, then you are having only 2 elements, then finally you are having only 1 element, and 1 element is actually 8, that is 8. So see what is the meaning after making one comparisons. So this is what, so how many comparisons you have done totally? 1 comparisons, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Only 10 comparisons you have done in worst case for 1024 elements. What is the meaning? So this can be written as 2 raised to power 9. This could be written as 2 raised to power 8. This could be written as 2 raised to power 7, 2 raised to power 6. This could be written as 2 raised to power 5, 2 raised to power 4, 2 raised to power 3, 2 raised to power 2, 2 raised to power 1, 2 raised to power 0. And this can be written as 2 raised to power 10. So see how many comparisons you are making? 1, 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Total 10 comparisons you are making. For 1024 elements, you are making 10 comparisons. But if you apply linear search in this case, how many comparisons you have to make? 1, 0 to 4 comparisons you have to make. If you apply linear search on 1, 0 to 4 elements, in worst case you need 1, 0 to 4 comparisons. But if you apply binary search, you are 1, 0 to 4 elements, you are doing only 10 comparisons. Now you can see the difference. What is the difference in linear search and one in binary search? So let us assume I am having n elements. I am having n elements. For n elements, how many comparisons? I don't know how many comparisons. Let us assume 2 raised to power k in power of k in power of 2, because 1, 0 to 4 I am making 10 comparisons. So let's say 2 raised to power k comparisons. 2 raised to power k, and I want to calculate the value of k. Once I will calculate the value of k, it means what? In this case I am making 10 comparisons and value is 1, 0 to 4. So if I can calculate the value of k, then I will be able to know for input n these many comparisons will take okay. So let us calculate the k value. So if you take log n both the sides, so log n, so it is going to be ultimately k. So in in like worst case, for n input it is taking log n comparisons. So that is the reason binary search worst case time complexity is log n. So let me write that also. So for binary search, best case time complexity is big omega of 1, because if you're like if you're calculating mid and that value is itself your value, so only one comparisons. In worst case it could be log n. Or our primary task was to reduce that time complexity order of n, which is in linear search in worst case, and I wanted to reduce that time complexity, and I have done this. So this is what? Log n. Okay, so let us try to implement the code of binary search. Let us try to implement that code. So what we are doing actually, we are implementing binary search. A is the array and I is the index value. I is the starting index value, j is the last index value, x is the search value. Okay, so now first what we will do, let me consider one situation. So this is my array. In this array only one value is available, let's say 15, and index value is, let's say, 0, and this is the starting value and this is the last index value, last index value. So see, in this case I starting index and last index both are pointing to the same location. It means array contains only one elements. If array contains only one elements, then let's suppose if I am searching for elements, if array contains only one elements, then it is very easy to search. Let's suppose I am searching for 15 and that one element is itself is 15. So I can simply say that element is available. Then what could be the another possibility? Let's suppose I am searching for 25. Then I will compare, because only one element is there in the array, so that element is not 25. What I will do, then I can say that element is not available. So this is what the one element problem. So what I will do first, if I equal to j, I equal to j means what? Array contains only one element. If array contains one element, then what you can do, first you are comparing. If a of I means that element is equal to your element, your search value, so let's suppose x. So then what you will do, simply then you can simply return the position of I, means it is available at index number 0. If it is so, else what you can do, else both are not equal, it means that element is not available. So return simply -1. -1 indicates element is not available. So this is what the one element condition. Now let's suppose I am writing else part. I am going into else part. It means what? It means simply means my array contains more than one element. So let us assume that scenario. Let's suppose now this is array A. So 1 2 3 4 5 let's say 6. Only total 6 elements are there in this array. So what could be the values? Let's suppose it is 18. The next value could be greater than 18. So let's suppose 20, because array is sorted array. So let's say 24, let's say 29, let us assume 40, and let's say it is 50. Now, so this is the starting index, which is I, and this is the last index j. So what you will do, because array contains more than one element, then what binary search says, first calculate the mid value. So how to calculate mid? So simply calculate mid. Mid is I plus j divided by 2. So you can take floor. So this is how you are going to calculate mid value. Once mid is you can calculate, then what? So what is mid in this case? 1 plus 6, 1 plus 6 divided by 2. So this is your mid. So mid is actually 3. Mid is actually 3. Mid is actually 3. So now mid is 3. So now you have calculated mid. So this is your mid. Now let's suppose, let me assume one case. So I was searching for 24. Let us assume. And I have calculated mid, which is 3, and I was searching for 24. So I will compare with this middle element, that is my element. So I am just doing comparisons. So what I will do, I will simply write if a of mid equal to x. If it is so, then I simply return the position of mid. Means it is that my element is available at index number 3, which is which contains by mid. So this is what you can write that condition. Now let's suppose maybe you are searching for 18. Then you have calculated mid, which is 3. Now then you have compared with middle elements. You have compared with middle elements. That is not your elements. Then this middle element will say you, don't stop your search. Now first you decide you're looking for smaller than me or you're looking for greater than me. Then you will immediately say, I am looking for smaller than you. Then it will say, bring this j to this particular location. Means you're not actually concerned with these elements. You're not actually concerned with these elements. So simply apply binary search on these elements, which is actually available in the left hand side. So what you will do, first you will compare if let me write this here. So first you will write if x less than a of mid. If x less than a of mid, it means what? Your value is available on the right left hand side. Then what you will do, you are going to apply binary search on left hand side. So binary search, let me write from here. So binary search on left hand side. So a is your array, I is your index value. So mid is nothing but mid minus 1, because your problem is mid minus 1, and x is the value which you are looking for. Now maybe possibility, one more possibility, you were searching for, let's say, 50. So now it will ask you, because you are looking for greater than me, then you cannot you don't need to go this side, you need to go right hand side. In that case you have to go to the right hand side. So I will call for the else. Simply I can write else my value is available on the right hand side. So else binary search a, now mid plus 1 comma j x. So this is what the implementation of binary search. So see, so this is the else part, this is your binary search. Okay, so see, now in this case, so we have implemented this code. Now let us discuss about the recurrence relation of this binary search. Recurrence relation of this binary search. So what is the see, let's suppose initially we are having n elements problem. Let us assume we are having n elements problem, and which we can solve, let us assume, in t of n time. What time it takes? It takes t of n time to solve the n elements problem. Means from n elements we can search one elements, let's suppose, which time is taken, which is nothing but t of n. So t of n is the time taken for solving the n elements problem. So now what we are doing actually here, in this case we are just doing one comparison, so it will take order of one time. Now what we are doing actually here we are calculating the mid, so it will take another order of one time. Now here we are doing another comparison, so it will again take order of one. You can execute each and every statement. Now here what we are doing, again we are just like making one comparisons order of one. But if you see, if this condition is true, then I will solve this like I will call this binary search on left hand side. If it is not true, then I will go to this part. Either I will execute this part or I will execute this part. So means what, if I, let's suppose if I execute this, so it is actually solving half elements problem. So if it is n elements problem, so it is actually n by 2 elements problem. So in order to solve n elements problem, if it takes t of n time, in order to solve n by 2 elements, it is going to take n by 2 time. This is the t of n by 2. Now so this will also be t of n by 2. Now what to include in recurrence relation? Is it 2tn by 2 or tn by 2? If I will call this recurrence relation, means what, if I apply binary search on this particular left hand side, then I am never going to call this this part, because I am not concerned with this. So either I will execute this or I will execute this. So let us include t of n by 2 only. T of n by 2. I will not add both, correct, because I will not call both these statements one by one. Now then plus this is constant, this is constant, this is constant. Every constant is only constant. Every constant value is constant. So this is the recurrence relation. Now let me solve this recurrence relation using substitution method. How to solve this recurrence relation using substitution method? Let us try to solve. So what is recurrence relation? T of n equal to t n by 2 plus c. So remember these kind of recurrence relation also for every problem, for every application. So let's suppose this is equation number 1, and let's suppose t of 1 equal to 1. This is the termination condition. Okay, so see what I need to I need to find the value of t of n by 2. So how I can find t of n equal to, let me write this equation number 1, t of n by 2 plus c. So this is my equation number 1. In equation number 1, if I replace n by n by 2, then I can find the value of t of n by 2. So if you try to solve, it is going to be t of n by 2 equal to t of n upon 2 square plus c. So let us replace this value. Now plus c is already there. Now you are simply replacing this value. So it is going to be t of n upon 2 square plus c. Now so it is going to be t of n upon 2 square plus 2c. Now let us calculate one more time t of n upon 2 square. So this time, now replace n by n upon 2 square. If you substitute this value in equation number 1, then you are going to get the value of t of n upon 2 square. So let us replace n upon 2 square equal to t of, see, you are replacing n by n upon 2 square. So 2 is already there, so it is going to be n upon 2 cube plus c. So now 2c is already there because you are just substituting the value of t of n upon 2 square. So which is nothing but t of n upon 2 cube plus c. This the plus 2c is already there. So now it is nothing but t of n upon 2 cube plus 3c. So what is the meaning? Because see, second time I have substituted, so I got 2 in power of 2, so it is 2, it is also 2, it is 3, it is also 3. If I substitute one more time, so I will get n upon 2 raised to power 4, so it is going to be 4c. If I substitute one more time, so t of n upon 2 raised to power 5, it is going to be 5c. So up to what term I should continue? Let us assume I must continue up to kth term. So it is going to be t of n upon 2 raised to power k plus k into c. This is what the meaning. So now, but we don't know the value of n upon 2 raised to power k. N upon 2 raised to power k we don't know. Let us assume this is 1. This is 1. Let's suppose this is 1. So if you try to solve, it is going to be n upon 2 raised to power k, and k value is nothing but log n. If you take log n both the sides, it is going to be. Now t, can you replace n upon 2 raised to power k by 1? So t of 1 plus k is nothing but log n. Log raised to n into C. So if you solve this, it is going to be ultimately order of log n. This is what the time complexity of binary search in worst case. In worst case, time complexity is order of log n. So you can solve this recurrence relation using substitution method. Because we only know substitution method till now, I'll explain recursive tree method also and master theorem also. So see, if you apply substitution method, so it is taking approximately 5 minutes. But if you apply recursive tree, it will take only 2 minutes. And one more, see, if you apply master theorem, so it takes only 2 seconds to give you the answer. It is going to give you answer in 2 seconds if you apply master theorem. So I will explain master theorem also in coming videos. So this